What's going on, guys? Bob Buskirk here at ThinkComputers, and today we're taking a look at one of Thermaltake's latest cases. This is their Urban T81 full tower. So let's just go ahead and take a look. All right, starting at the front of the case, we have this nice door here, and it has like a little brushed aluminum look to it, so it's gonna look really sleek and really nice. Of course, having this sleek look on the front is really great. You don't want, drive sticking out or anything, so that's kind of the purpose of this door. Now the door opens just like that, as you can see, nice and easily here. And when we open it, it does reveal two 5¼ inch bays. The bottom one does have a 3.5 inch adapter, and then we have our two fans here. So this case does come with two 200mm intake fans, and then they each have their own fan filters here, which are, as you can see, extremely easy to take off and clean. We'll do the bottom one as well. You can see just how easy these are to take off and put right back on here. At the top of the case, you can see that Thermaltake has continued that nice brushed aluminum look. At the top is where you're going to find all of your connections as well as a few buttons. So starting with the buttons, we have a very large power button right here. We have a it looks like a hard drive activity LED, and then we do have our smaller reset button here. This case does come with a fan controller, and I believe all of the included fans are connected to this controller already, so you don't have to connect them or anything like that. And you have both high and low fan speed settings. You have microphone connection, headphone connection, 4 USB 2.0 ports, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. The rest of the top of the case has this nice mesh design, of course perfect for ventilation for all your fans and everything like that. And you can actually go ahead and push this down and it releases that. If we can get it off here, try to. Put my hand, there we go. Get this off, and this actually comes completely off, and you can see it's actually a filter as well. So you can take this off and clean it and all of that stuff. And you can see that you can fit quite a lot of fans up here. It does come with a 200mm fan up top, but you can actually fit a second 200, or you can do 3 140s or 3 120 fans all up top right here. The side panel of the case has a nice large window, so you are going to be able to see all of your hardware inside for the most part. Plain clear window, it's not smoked or anything like that. And while we're looking at the side here, we can actually see our ventilation here. It's actually on both sides. That allows Thermaltake to have this full front door and everything, and still get that intake you're going to need to bring air into your case. At the back of the case, you have 3 really large water cooling holes here, and they do have the rubber inserts, so you don't mess with your tubing or anything like that. You're not going to cut your tubing on there. We have a 140mm exhaust fan. You can actually fit a 120 in here as well if you want to, move those around. Of course, you have all of your expansion slots. You have a little bit of ventilation down here, and of course, your power supply mounting is going to be on the bottom of the case. And with that, you do have a removable fan filter. What's great about this filter is that it actually is extremely large, and it goes along the entire bottom of the case. So you don't have to take one out from the front or the back or whatever. You just have one, and this goes along the entire bottom of the case. Just keeps all of that dirt and dust out of your system. Getting inside the case is actually extremely simple, and I really love this design. It's great for builders or people who want to get into the system extremely easily. Normally we would have, thumb screws on the side, and you have to take the panel off and, do all that stuff. They make it so much easier. So see, we do have a lock here. The keys do come, of course, with the case. You can, of course, lock it and leave it unlocked. We have it unlocked right now. And actually on the bottom side of the case, there is a button here. So we'll press that in, and you can see the door swings open just like that. It's going to make installation so much easier, just because, you don't have to worry about taking the door completely off and all of that. You can just, get that all out of the way. And of course, you can see the inside. Now, what's cool is also on the other side, we have another one that moves this door. So we have access to all of our drives and all of that. Starting with our drives here, we have our two 5¼ inch drives, and these use a simple toolless system. The toolless system can be removed if you don't want to use it. If you're against these toolless systems, you can go ahead and remove that. Now we have 3 hard drive cages, so the first 2 support 3 drives each with a total of 6, and then the bottom one supports 2, so that gives you a total of 8. And these use simple trays here. And these trays support both 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch hard drives, so you have all of that space here. And what's great about all of these, not only are all of the hard drive cages removable and modular, which means you can move them however you like, you can actually remove these 2 top bays as well. So if you want to put a really thick radiator in here for your front, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to move these around, you don't want to use all of them, these all can be removed. It's a truly modular system. This case again is made for builders, people who want to do different things, so that gives you the ability to do that. As we take a look at the rest of the inside of the case here, we have a lot of cable routing holes. I'm going to go ahead and count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and they all do include the rubber inserts, so you don't have to worry about tearing or ripping your cables as you're routing them through. On the bottom here, we do have room for another fan. You can fit either a 120 or 140 millimeter fan down there, as long as your power supply isn't you know, super long that it cuts off those mounting points. And again, you do have that fan filter that goes along the entire bottom of the case. You don't have to worry about, if you do install a fan, about dust getting up into the system. We do have a very large CPU cutout as well. That is going to allow you to install an aftermarket CPU cooler without having to take your motherboard completely out of the case. I've gone ahead and taken the back side panel off of the case just so you can get a good idea of how everything is set up here, and some things we're gonna, you know, check out. The first thing that's really noticeable is when you take the back side panel off is your fan controller here. So you can actually connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different fans to this controller, and of course that is controlled on the top of the case. We can see that all of our cables are nicely routed, and there's actually built-in organizers here, these metal organizers that will help you go ahead and, you know, organize all your cables. I would have liked to see a couple more tie downs and things like that, you know, around the back here, but those aren't on there. But all of these metal organizers should help you route everything pretty much the way you would like it. There is a good amount of room here behind the motherboard tray, so when you're routing, you know, your CPU power, you shouldn't have an issue with that as well. And then as we move over here, we can actually see all of these thumb screws, and these are what are going to allow you to, once you take those off, you can go ahead and use, as I said, the modular system that allows you to take out the hard drive cages and move them however you want in whatever configuration you want. So this wraps things up for our quick overview of the Thermaltake Urban T81 full tower case. Now make sure you check back very soon on ThinkComputers.org, as we'll have our full written review. And remember guys, if you like our videos, why don't you subscribe? Catch you guys later.